This is my art station. In here are basically all my art supplies. There's just some acrylic paints in this cupboard which I want to get out. Oh, they're in this box under this folder somewhere. I want to root them out and have them more accessible. So let's have a go at that. I have a lot of white paint. So this gesso, I doubt it's still any good. Oh. Yeah, that's dried up. I can throw that away. This is basically empty. There's this. This has still got some in, so I'll keep that. That's basically empty. And I've got fresh ones here. That's still got some in. Oh, that's nearly empty, but there's still some in there. I think that's about it. This one, I will keep that. I need to replace this. So we need to get all these out of the way. And let's take a look in here. So we have loads of sketchbooks. Oh, this could come in useful. Putting my paints away. What have I got in here? Drop cloths. Ah, this was from when I was doing paint pouring, which I'm unlikely to do. But I don't want to throw it away just in case I get back into it. Maybe I can just put it directly in there. I have to think about it. What's in here? Ooh, nice acrylics. Flow formula acrylic. Oh yeah, that's still moving in there. Fabric paints. Paintbrushes. Okay. They can go back in. I think this is taking up a lot of space though. I might have to part with this box. Okay, so we've got some little paint pouring things from 2023. I don't think anybody's gonna want these. I don't want to throw them away. Don't know what to do about that. A slightly bigger canvas for bigger paint pouring. I don't know. This box just seems just right for all these acrylic paints. I think that's what we're going to use it for. Just put all this away. It's going to all fit in here. It's unlikely, but you just never know. That can go in the bin. This is such a good colour. I used it in making this paint chart, magenta. Let me show you. It's like this sort of magenta. So it's really, really good for mixing. I haven't been able to find it again. It was really good. I think it's all going to fit in, you know. Amazing. So let's try and put it in here if we can. Great. And the drop cloths will still come in handy. Or maybe tuck them on top. I've just got to find a place for these guys. I think this is going to be the solution. If I can. Great. Now all these markers, this is going to have to go on one of these. pencils and all these fabric markers. Where are they gonna live? I guess I could try these drawers. Okay, so I've got some ideas about what to do to get out of this art funk. I'm gonna fill out this page with what those ideas are. So, what shall I title this? Escape Artist Block. So here are some of the ideas. I'm gonna recreate old art. Gonna go to a still life class if I can. Follow art YouTube tutorials. Do a 7-day drawing challenge. From this sketchbook school. Art assignment. The next day I decided I'd fill in this gap where I've done my ideas page with a copy of a painting that I saw in the National Gallery. I've got a little gift bag on the left there, as you can see, from going to the National Gallery recently. And my mum-in-law very generously gave me a magnet with one of my favourite paintings that I saw that day. I only took a picture of 3 paintings, and this was one of them that I took a photo of, by an artist I didn't recognise. His name is Ferdinand Hodler, and I'm not going to try and pronounce the name of the piece. I'll insert it later in the video. It's way too complicated for me to try and mangle. But yeah, so I started with the mid-tone green in the background, hoping that that would help me to get the contrast that I needed, or that I wanted to get in this painting. As part of what I really loved about the original painting, there was just this beautiful contrast of colours between the blues in the far background near the top, and then the greens in the middle, and the vivid yellow fields in the foreground. It was just really striking and captivating. Of course, I didn't do it justice, but I did my best. The ugly phase lasted a long time, but in the end, I'm content with the way that it turned out. As you can see here, I'm trying to get the right blues, the right shades of blue, to convey that idea that the mountains are far away. And I'm going in with quite a bit of detail from the get-go, which in hindsight I would have done a sketch maybe first. That's what I usually do, or what I used to do, was to sketch things out before painting them. But this time I just felt really bold, and I thought, that'll be fine, I'll just go straight in with a brush and paint and it'll be okay. Which, yeah, I don't know, it worked out, it was fine. It was a bit hard to put the yellow over the green because, as you saw, these were just budget paints from the works, Crawford and Black. There isn't the opacity in the yellow to overcome that mid-tone green, so I had to add some white in to create a base for the yellow fields again. And I went straight in with my greens for the trees. I found this really quite challenging, and I was a little bit disheartened at how bad my painting of trees is. So I need to work on that. Landscapes have never been a forte for me, so that's something that I can add to my little diagram on the right. I wound up going over these trees that I've dotted about in the middle, because I really wanted to get the right shades, or closer to the right shades, for the fields. I'm really laying that yellow on quite thick. It was a bit much for this paper, I think, but it actually held up okay, all things considered. I added a bit of pink in the sky. I thought I could see some pink in the clouds. And there was these lovely little clouds that peeked out from behind the mountains. I think the blue was a little bit too saturated at this point. I've saturated it a bit too much, but I go back in and fix that as best as I can. There was a little bit of work I did off camera where I did the path while I was waiting for the video to process, but I don't think you missed much. So yeah, I used that same colour of the path to give some dimension to the yellow fields to give them a bit more contrast as well. There was so much detail in the original, and it was way bigger than this little thumbnail can do justice. The original was done oil on canvas. This is just acrylic on paper. It's getting better. The ugly stage is over, I would say. Yeah, pretty much. The sky needs a bit more work still, but these trees are starting to, with a few highlights, they're starting to look better. Now I'm going in and working on the clouds, trying to soften the contrast between the blue sky and the clouds themselves. And here's the original, or the very magnet that I told you about. I recommend looking up the original, going to see it if you can, because I think the colours pop even more in real life. Thanks for watching.